So I want to quickly do the solution to our last assignment. So this is the assignment. I asked you to go to this website, JSON placeholder. Then you make use of this here. Go to this photo section. Then when users go to your website and they go to /photos/ something, it can be anything. Maybe it's like any number, maybe /4. That means they want to view the fourth picture. So when you go to this URL, it's going to load this is the fourth picture. It's one with ID of 4. It will load it and the title. It will load this and it will load this. This is the image. It's just taking time. Oh, I think something is wrong with this URL. Something is wrong. But the idea is that we may not, we should be able to load the title even if we can't load the image. The image, something is wrong with the image, with the JSON placeholder website. Something is wrong. Now, at least, even if you can't load the image, we should be able to load the title, this text here, like this. So the idea is that when they go to your website /photos/ they put the ID, then you load the image and the title. You load the two of them. So let's do that together. So what we want to do is that when people go to /photos, let's be consistent. Sorry, someone wants to join. You're welcome. So when they go to this, let's create a component. The component that we are going to load when they go to /photos. So create a photos component. Let's get it together here. I think we already have the components. Okay, let's put it there. So we can go to photos.js. Okay, so something is. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so we'll say return. I'll just load this for a start. So whenever we go to this component, we are loading this out. Welcome to photos. Let's export it out. So in our app.js now, we make use of it here. And we close this out stack. So when they go to /photos, it will load this component. Let's check if that is working. So just go to /photos. We have it. But then what we want to do is not just /photos, right? It's going to be /photos/ the ID. Maybe if it's 7, we want to load the 7th photo. If it is 10, we want to load the 10th photo. So we want to find a way to extract this value. Whatever is there, we want to extract it. So we can say /photos/ based on what we learned in the last class, you can put an ID here like this. So whatever number is at the back or whatever value is after photos, it will be assigned to this ID. Such that when you get to this component now, you can extract that ID and make use of it. So let me ask us, if I want to extract the value of this ID, what do I use? If I want to extract the value of that ID in this component, what do I use? Which React hook do I use? Based on what we learned in our last class,
Mr. Abidakun, do you mean extracting the IDs from the
from the URL?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. That means if to extract the ID, we'll be using the use params.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yes. So we make use of the use params. So we can say let's ID equals to use params. So this is going to, use params returns an object, and we are destructuring ID out of that object. So let's just display the ID on the screen. Let's use maybe h1 tag. Just put the ID there, like this. So if I go to slash this, we have 7. If this is 10, we have this. But this is not what we want to do or where we are going to. Right? We want to make use of this 10 now to fetch the 10th picture. That is, if I go to this website and I put /10, it will load the 10th object for me, which contains a title and a URL. So what we can do is this. We've done use effect. When you load a component, you can use effect. When the component has mounted, you can use effect to run some side effects after mounting it. So we can do that here like this. Use effect. Use effects as to argument like this. If this is empty, that means immediately my component mounts, then run these codes. So what do we want to do when the component mounts? I want to make a request to this URL using the ID that is I'll go to JSON placeholder.typical /photos/ that I will concatenate whatever the ID is, such that if the ID is 7, this is going to be /7. If the ID is 10, this is going to be /10. If the ID is 20, this will be /20, so that it can fetch the objects for us. Any questions so far? Please, are we following? Are we getting it? Okay, all right, thank you, sir. So we've done something like this in the past. So we can do maybe fetch data or something. We can call it fetch data. So we want to use async. We want to use await inside this. Because you want to use await, you make this an asynchronous function. Let's maybe let's say photo object equals to await, bring in Axios that gets, then we copy this URL. Let's copy this URL. Paste it there. But instead of this being /10 now, we can now concatenate this ID with it. So whatever the ID is will be put here. Next is this is going to return an object. Inside that object, we have a property inside it called data. That's the way Axios works. The data you are fetching will be inside data, and you can now make use of that. You can say, for a start, I'll just say console log photo object. So we see what I'm saying. So if I go to this now, now we have this function. We are here to call on this function. So let's call on the function here like this. Okay. So we have this data. This data contains, this property data contains these objects. So we want to save this object now in a variable. So we can say, let's my photo set my photo equals to use state. So we are starting this with an empty object. The value of my photo will start as an empty object, such that after fetching this now, we can say set my photo, set it to this dot data, photo object dot data like this. Any questions so far? This property data contains the object we are fetching, so we are saving that as the value of my photo. Can we proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So now this, my photo, will now look like this. It's going to look like this now, this object. So to have a property in it called title, if you have a property in it called URL, I think these are the two ones we need based on the assignment I gave in the last class. So instead of this now, we can say this can now be, what's the name of this? My photo. My photo dot title. It's going to put the title. Then for our image, I think something is wrong with the JSON place of our image loading. But in case everything works fine again. So this is going to load the URL for us. So let's see if everything is working fine. So I'll refresh this. Now we have this. Okay, oh wow, we're able to load the image. Good. So if I go to /8, we have this. Let's hope the image will load. I think maybe some of the images aren't loading. Hope you understand how this works. Any questions so far? So nested route is when you want to route, like when you route to a component and you still want to route again inside that component. For instance, let's say I have about page now. On this about page, let's go to this about.js. On this about page, I want to check, let's say there are 3 persons. I have Taye, I have Kenny, I have Idowu. So I want to check information about these 3. I can have something like this. Let me just use this. Check Taye info. Okay. So I have these 3. I just put this. I want the color to change so that it's obvious that is a link. Okay. So this is what we want to do. When I click on this check Taye info, I want to display Taye's information here like this. Underneath this place, display. Maybe let's have a div. So I will display Taye's information inside this div. When I click on check Kenny's info, I will display Kenny's information. I'm still on the about page, right? I'm still on the about page. The only thing is, on that page again, I still want to move from one page to another. So display Taye's information here. If I go to Kenny, display Kenny's information here. If I go to Idowu, display Idowu's information here. But for all of them, if you are just on the about page, you will only see this and this URL. Do we get how this works? You first route to the about page. That is, if I go to about, I will see this. If I want to see Taye's info, when I click on this, it will display Taye's information inside a div like this. When I click on Kenny's info, it will display Kenny's information in a div. When I click on Idowu's info, it will display Idowu's information in a div. That's the task we are about to do. That's what we want to do now. How to use nested route to handle this. In fact, is the best to handle this. Now, what you're going to do is this. We create uh something like we create components, right? Let's get the components together. Let's see. I can have one for Taye, I can have one for Kenny, I can have one for Idowu. So I'll just come here. I can have one for, let's say, Taye.js const Taye. Or better still, let's look at the simplified version first. Then we'll now introduce components. Once you understand the simplified version, it will make it easier for you to understand when you bring in components. Let's go back to this place. So you go to this, all of them, whether you are going to Taye, or you are going to Kenny, or you are going to Ido, all of them will still be under this about. If I want to see Taye, it will be /about/Taye. If I want to see Kenny, it will be /about/Kenny. If I want to see Ido, that will be /about/Ido. That's how it's going to be. Right. So what you're going to do is this. You come here and you put another route. Note how this works. I have this about route. Inside it, I can put other routes. This route, whatever route I put here, they are children. The routes inside this place, whatever routes I'm going to put there, they will be children of this about route. So I come here and say route cat Taye, then elements. So instead of putting a component, I'll just put a simple HTML code. Div. This is Taye's component. Then I'll copy this. First, this will be Kenny. So I can say welcome to Kenny's page. Then let's check the third one, Idowu. Hey, I am Idowu. Hey. Okay. So here is it. What this means is that if I want to load this component, it needs to be /about/Taye. If I want to load this code here, it must be /about/Taye. Once I go to /about/Taye, it will load the codes here. When I go to /about/Kenny, it will load the codes here. When I go to /about/Idowu, it will load the codes here. Any questions so far?
None. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. So let's go to this. But remember, all of them are still children of this about route. Right. That means they will be loaded. You see these three things, this, or this. Of course, it's going to load only one of them at a time. But these three things, they will still be children of this about route. That means this, whatever. Sorry, someone wants to join. If I go to /about, you are welcome. Sorry, you can mute your mic. So if I go to /about/Taye, this, whatever you have there, will be sent to this mother, to this parent here. It will be sent. So it's going to be loaded. This div will be sent to this component, this about component. So I can have access to it inside this about component. Also, if I go to /about/Kenny, this div here will be sent to this component. So I can have access to this inside this component, same as this. So the question now is, how do we have access to this inside the about component? That's the next thing we want to check out. How do we have access to that? So there's something we call outlets. Let's bring it in. Outlet. This outlet holds the children. So if I send the first div, let's say if I send the first div, when you go to /about/tire, this div will be sent to the about component. So when you send the first div, that first div will be displayed at this exact spot. Wherever that outlet is, it will be displayed here. So when I go to /about/Kenny, this div, or whatever is there, or if it's a component also, will be displayed at this exact spot that you have outlet. Outlet is saying whatever children you are bringing, put it here. That's what outlet. Outlet is like a placeholder, and that's because it doesn't know where you want to put the div. I may choose to put it here, right? I may choose to put, maybe I want to display it here. I may choose to put it anywhere. So it does not know where or the exact spot I want to put the children. So that's what the outlet is doing for us. Outlet tells React where it should put it. So wherever it sees outlets, then, wherever it sees outlets, then it places the incoming child at that same spot, So let's see if it's working now. So I'll go to /about/tire. You can see this is where the outlet is. The outlet is before this. If I go to /about/Kenny, I have this. If I go to /about/video, I have this. But instead of going to this or coming here to type, let's make these links active. Let's make them work. So just like we did in our last class, we won't use link. Instead, we use I won't use anchor tag. Instead, we use the link tag. So link to tire. And I can say tires info. Just put this at the front. So copy. I'll just say Kenny. See, check those data, something like this. So now I can use this. Everything is working fine. Do you have any question? So now we understand how nested routing works, right?
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
So
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
so what if we still have another another route child inside the Taye or Kende or Ido? So are we still going to get it from outlet component? Another outlet.
When you have, okay, let's say these ones also have children, right? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yeah, you can also come here again.
Yes.
These ones should actually be components. In fact, let's create components for them. These ones should actually be components so that you can easily put outlets there. What I'm saying is this. If these ones have their own children, then your outlet will be here, which will make things look rough. Let's create separate components so that you get what I'm saying better. So I think I've got it out of tire. So I'll just say const tire equals to this. Return. I'll just copy this. Cut this one out of this place. Go to this. Paste. spots, default tire like this, then bring it in here. So that is the same for Kenny and Ido. Cut this one out. Then let's check out the third one. This one out. Yeah. So bring it in here. Oops. So now now we are using components now, and our application will still work fine. Let's see if everything is still working fine. Tire is not defined, line 23. So let's check why. Okay. Okay. So everything is still working fine. Now back to your question. What if this child house also wants to have his own children? Is that if I get it right? You can do something like this also. You make this into this. You can also have his own route like this. This tire can have his own route. Maybe I want to check out tire's name. I'm just saying parts. Let's say name elements. I can have this here like this. Div. And let's use h1 here. Oops. My name is tire. Next, I want to check out tire's departments. Then I can say computer science. Okay. So let's stop here. We have these two. If I go to /about/tire/name, it will load this. If I go to /about/tire/department, it will load this. But you know, this name and this department, they are inside this tire. So I need to go to this tire, then bring my outlet there. So are we following? Are we getting it?
Yes.
So you come here, you bring in your outlet there, whatever you want it to be. Sorry. Like this. Okay. So let's go and see if everything is working fine. I have this. Of course, you can use your link to link things up easily. Let's do that. So inside this place, I'm bringing my link. name, check out Taya's name, and department, check out Taya's department like this. Yeah. So if I currently on Taye, then we can check out Taye's name or Taye's department. Any question? Have I answered your question?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.